everyone. Today I'm going to discuss the article entitled The Learner-Centered Pedagogy and its impact on student learning. It is sourced by Mockcombs and Whistler, 1997. So this we will have a research connection. So first, let us look at the statement of the problem. The main goal of this study is to explain that what learner-centered pedagogy really is. It, it is also aims to find how this approach helps students become more motivated and learn better. Specifically, the study wants to answer these questions. What are the important principles of learner-centered teaching? How does this approach change the role of teachers and students inside the classroom? And how does it affects the achievement and attitude of the students? So now we have the research methodology. This study used a descriptive and theoretical research design. It is not just a simple theory paper. It is based on actual data. So how did the authors gather information? First, they did a thorough review of different educational theories and related studies. Second, they actually conducted surveys and gathered data from more than 20,000 students and teachers using a tool called ALCP, or Assessment of Learner-Centered Practices. Then they analyze and describe the result to show how learner-centered principles work in real schools. So the method is a combination of theory and actual evidence. So now, let us go to the most important part, the findings. Based on their research, they discovered four main things. Number one, students become more active, and they found out that when students are the center of learning, they are not just sitting and listening. They participate, ask questions, and act and are more interested to the lesson. Number two, the study showed that when teachers stop being just lecturers and start being facilitators or guides, students learn to think better and become more independent. So, specifically, or in short, the learners or the learning of the students is based how the teachers or the lecturers approach them. So now we have the number three. The number three, learning connects to real life. It was found out that learning is more effective if the lessons connect to the students' own experience, interests, and needs. It makes the lesson easier to understand and remember. And last, we have develops good skills. This approach helps students develop important skills like critical thinking, cooperation, and problem solving, which are very useful for their future. So lastly, we have the conclusion. So, therefore, the study conclusion that learner-centered pedagogy is very effective, and it does not only help students gain knowledge, but it also makes learning meaningful and enjoyable. When students are involved in the process, they understand lessons deeper and develop a positive attitude towards school. This approach prepares them not just for exams but for real life also. So, that is the summary of the article we reviewed. Again, I just summarize I what the article what the article wants to say, or what article I researched. I hope this gives you a clear idea of what learner-centered pedagogy is all about. So, before I ended this video, I just want to introduce you my name. I'm Annabea Pitumigud, your future educator, and that's all. Thank you.
This study helped me understand that teaching is not only about delivering information, but guiding learners to become active participants in their own learning. I realized that learner centered pedagogy focuses on the needs, interests, and abilities of students, making learning more meaningful and engaging. As a future teacher, I learned the importance of giving students opportunities to think critically, collaborate with others, and express their ideas. It also gained insight that the role of the teacher is to facilitate and support learning rather than simply being inside the classroom. This approach can help students become more responsible, independent, and motivated to learn and apply. Living this in my field will help me create a positive, interactive learning environment where students feel valued and confident. I wonder why some teachers still prefer traditional teaching methods even if learner centered pedagogy shows more effective results.
So good day everyone. I am Colin Kate Purpose. So today I will discuss about my final research connection. So let us first have here the title. So the title is Learner-Centered Psychological Principle, a Framework for School Reform. And the source is the American Psychological Association, or APA. Statement of the problem. So this studies is aims to determine how learner-centered teaching affects students' learning and engagement. Research methodology. So the study used a qualitative approach by reviewing existing studies and research about learning. Theories. So learner-centered psychological principles or LCP. And then findings. The study found that students learn better when they are actively involved in the learning process. Considering students' needs and interests improves engagement and participation. So in conclusion, learner-centered teaching is effective because it is focuses on students' need and promotes active and meaningful learning. So now, let us have a reflection and insight about our final research connection. So the learner-centered pedagogy is strongly supported by educational research because it focuses on how students actively construct their own knowledge. So study shows that when students are actively involved in the learning process, they understand lesson better and retain information longer. So this idea is connected to the theory of constructivism, which explains that learners build knowledge based on their experiences and prior understanding. So research also supports the use of different teaching modalities such as face-to-face, blended learning, online class, and distance learning. So these approaches help address the diverse needs, interests, and learning styles of students. For example, blended learning allows students to learn both independent through online tools or collaboration during in-person sessions. So this flexibility makes learning more accessible and inclusive, especially for students with different abilities and backgrounds. So in addition, studies highlight the effectiveness of learner-centered strategies such as cooperative learning, inquiry-based learning, and differentiated instruction rather. So these strategies improve critical thinking, communication, and solving skills. So for instances, cooperative learning encourages teamwork and peer support, while inquiry-based learning helps students develop curiosity and deeper understanding. So research shows that learner-centered pedagogy is essential in difficult situations such as emergency and poverty. Because it allows teachers to adapt instruction according to students' needs and circumstances. So, in conclusion, research confirms that learner-centered pedagogy enhances students' engagements, promotes meaningful learning, and support diverse learners. So it is a powerful approach that prepares students for lifelong learning and real-world challenges. So that's all for my final research connection. Thank you.
So, good day to each and everyone. I am Jemercy Gonzalez, and I am the fourth member of the Studyhub board. So now I will explain what I write in my research connection. So in my research connection, my title is all about the impact of learner-centered teaching on student engagement and achievement, and I find the source of it. It's on the WMEM 2013, Learner-Centered Teaching, the 5 keys change to practice, and San Francisco CA Josie Bass. In the statement of the problem, this study aims to determine how learner-centered teaching affects students' engagement, motivation, and academic performance. So in my research pedagogy, so the study used a qualitative and quantitative approach. So surveys and classroom observations were conducted among students and teachers. In the findings, the study found that learner-centered teaching increases student engagement, participation, and motivation. So, in conclusion, learner-centered teaching is more effective than traditional teaching methods in promoting meaningful learning. So that's all for my video. I hope you understand something. And now we will proceed to our fifth member.
The research study about the learner-centered teaching approach um, is the most important thing I learned from this. From this, I greatly affects the learning. When students are interested and engaged, they are more willing to study and participate in class. Learner-centered approaches such as group activities, game project, and discussion make the learning um, enjoyable, and also the students do not feel bored because they become part of the lesson instead of being passive listener. They become active learners. This creates the creativity and curiosity inside the classroom better and perform well academically. This study also taught me the importance of collaboration, group works, and cooperations. Learning helps students learn from one another. They shared ideas, listens to opinions, and work together toward the common goals. These are important life skills that students need in the future. In the real life, success offers requires teamwork and communication and respect for others. Through learner-centered teaching, students practice their skills while learning academic content.